Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. I was so impressed with the Elysian beer that we did yesterday that I wanted to do another one since I had one that Nate sent me. This is the Elysian Dark of the Moon Pumpkin Stout. Uh, I do like a pumpkin stout. I have done them before, and they add a little bit of chocolatiness to the normally typical watery pumpkin colored beer, if you will. Just a nice change up from your typical pumpkin ales, which are usually all pretty orangey and pumpkiny in color, and very low ABV, very thin, very crisp, a nice seasonable fall beer. Uh, the pumpkin stouts usually tend to be just a tad heavier and usually a tad thicker too, with the roasted, the darker roast malt that they use in the beers. This is not an imperial. This is only 6.5% here, and I think that's accurate. Yeah, 6.5%. And this one, instead of having a code underneath, it says the 6.5% by volume. It says package 090314. So this was done in August. Is that right? July 7, 8. No, it was done in September. September. I'll give a month straight here. It was done in September, which is a lot better drinking a beer that was packaged in September in the pumpkin variety than one that was packaged in June or July in the pumpkin variety. So, very nice wolf. Looks like a wolf. Wolf or a werewolf. Uh, in the front of a moon. Very colorful label on the front of this beer. On the side here it says stout brewed with pumpkin and pumpkin seeds with cinnamon added. Dark of the Moon Pumpkin Stout is spookily smooth and chocolatey with a touch of cinnamon. It won the 2010 GABF, which is the Great American Beer Festival, silver medal in the field beer category. For you guys that don't know what's a GABF, it's a big beer festival that they have in Denver, Colorado every year. And they just had it, as a matter of fact. Says Elysian Brewing Company operates 3 brew pubs in the city of Seattle and has won large brew pub and brewmaster of the year 3 times at the GABF. And Dick Cantwell is the head brewer there. He's got his autograph and cheers on the side of the bottle here. So very nice, very colorful label on the front of this beer. If I seen this, I would probably pick it up, not knowing what's inside the bottle here, just for the colorful label and saying it's a pumpkin stout. If I'd never had it before, I would definitely pick it up. Commercial description: brewed at the Elysian on Capitol Hill, a perennial favorite, brewed with Great Western Pale, crisp 77-degree crystal, Munich, Cara, Vienna, roasted chocolate as special B malts. A lot of malt in that. With roasted pumpkin seeds in the mash, pumpkin in the mash, kettle, and fermenter, bittered with Magnum and finished with Size and crushed cinnamon. Crushed cinnamon. Don't that sound tasty? Does not have the IBUs listed here on this one either, guys. A lot of the pumpkin beers don't give you that information. I don't know why that is. I guess I figured it's not very bitter, so you don't need to know what the IBUs are on it. So, food pairings is the same as the for all your pumpkin beers. It says dessert. And this is more so, this will go more with your chocolate dishes, with it being a stout. It's going to have a little roastier, chocolatey type malt. And the meat is poultry, of course. Glass-barred pint, Becker and 9-inch tumbler. I decided, since this was a stout, I'd go ahead and bring out the double glass for this particular one, guys. And not recommended for extended cellarings. And I think that's all we need to talk about. So, in continuation with our Halloween pumpkin beers, nice little hiss. We're going to get this one out of the way. This is a bomber, a 22 ounce. So Nate, thanks again, brother, for sending me this. Let's go down the center and see what we get. And this is a 22, so there's plenty enough to share there. I've only got about a half a glass. I need to touch it up just a hair. Nice finger of khaki colored head over to the light. I'm not seeing very much light, so it is pretty dark. Pitch black here, matter of fact, guys. Very nice looking stout in the glass. The bubbles are pretty tight around the outside of the glass, with some bigger bubbles from the aggressive pour down the center. So it looks good. Let's see if it smells and tastes good. Let's get a nose on it. Lots of cinnamon in this, and then the cinnamon is this off the chain. Not getting a lot of the cocoa or chocolate. There is a hint of it. But cinnamon is overpowering this beer. I mean, it's really got a boatload of cinnamon in it. And as what they said on the side of the bottle, what was it, ground? I just read it. Where did I read the commercial description? Brewed with Magnum. Brewed with Magnum. And finished with sauce and crushed cinnamon. So I wonder how much crushed cinnamon they put in here. It must be a lot, because it is really got a lot of cinnamon in those. Well, let's see what we get on the taste other than a little bit of cocoa and cinnamon. Wow. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Nate. Very tasty. I think they went a tad overboard with the cinnamon, though. If you love cinnamon, you're going to like this one. It has got a lot of cinnamon in it. Not quite as thin in the mouthfeel being a stout as a regular ale. It is nice. It is kind of tasty. Not getting so much of the pumpkin as I am the spices. Yeah, the cinnamon is just a tad overpowering right now. Leaving a very nice lacing on the glass, though. And this is a stout, so it's right out of the fridge. So let's let this one warm up and see if any of these other flavors will come out, and let the cinnamon calm down just a little bit. So I'll be right back, and we'll see where it ends up. Alright, guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Been letting it warm up probably about 45 minutes or so. Very tasty. Very nice change from your typical pumpkin ales, which are fairly light and crisp. More of the orangey pumpkin color. This has got a little more roasted malt and stuff in it. Let's do the final chug, and I'll give you the final comments. Very nice beer. The alcohol is very well hidden. The only drawback to this beer, in my opinion, it's a little over the top in the cinnamon. they've added just a tad too much cinnamon, in my opinion, to this beer. This would probably be a 10 beer if the cinnamon wasn't overpowering everything else. I think it's got a tad too much cinnamon, but I do like the mouthfeel on it. The cocoa does come out a little bit, and the chocolate as it warmed up. Very nice, but the cinnamon is just overpowering everything else. It got just a tad too much cinnamon in this one, in my opinion. So, if it wasn't for that, it would probably get a 10 from me. It's got the date on the bottle. Very nice beer. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Nate, thanks again for sending me this one. But since its cinnamon is overpowering everything instead of 10, I'm going to give it to 9, guys. It's definitely a nice beer. I don't know what this beer costs because Nate sent this one to me. He may post in the comments what this beer cost him to get. But it is a 22-ounce bomber, enough to share with somebody. Or if you feel like being a pig about it and drink it all yourself, that's fine too. But too much cinnamon for my taste, guys. It's just a little bit too much cinnamon. And there is some ginger and nutmeg and everything else in there, but the cinnamon is just overpowering everything. So we're going to give it the 9 out of 10 because of the cinnamon overpowering everything. And let's see what everybody else thinks. We'll go over to Beer Advocate first, and Beer Advocate says 88 in a very good range. That number is very conservative, which they usually are. If I was putting a numeric rating on this one, it would probably get the 97 or maybe a 98 on the scale because of the cinnamon. But very tasty. I did enjoy this one. Very nice. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 98. And in the style, 99. So not quite to the 100 scale from them or me. I thought it was just a little tad heavy on the cinnamon. But other than that, very tasty. A nice change up from the typical pumpkin ales. So if you've had this one, the Elysian Dark of the Moon Pumpkin Stout, let me know what you think, guys. And let's see if we can drag something out in the pumpkin variety tomorrow. Come on back then. I'll see you.